What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys sort of an update-ish video talking about our Week 9 match and what happened and what's going on. Obviously, you guys, this will be going up in place of our Week 9 match and our Week 9 team builder, and I just sort of wanted to touch on some update points as well as talk about our Week 9 match. So, in terms of our Week 9 match, if my document will move over to it. We were playing Cade and the Krabby Kadabbies. He opted to FF, and this match that I'm showing in the video is why he opted to FF to me. Um, and maybe I'll just sort of touch on that at the end is what I'm going to do then. So just as sort of an update in terms of the NCL, obviously I'm the commissioner for the NCL, so I do a lot of all of the doc work, and I produce the majority of the NCL YouTube content. I do all of the in-server stuff, so we have pick'ems every week that Jed produces a series on the NCL YouTube channel. I'm also trying to keep on top of all of the playoff implications to do the playoff picture series on the NCL YouTube channel, and I do the weekly recaps every single week as well. Obviously, transactions are done now. They were finished at the end of week 8, so there's no more of the transaction series or the chopping block series, so we're cut down to the 3 series left on the NCL YouTube. One will be down to 2 once playoffs start because playoff picture is obviously not relevant once playoffs start. So we'll have the weekly recap, which will just sort of recap each round of the playoffs, and we'll have the pick'ems, but they'll all be like a lot shorter because it's playoffs. So then in terms of what I want to talk about then, Phil and the Wiltshire War Turtles. Phil is currently taking care of his mother. I'm not entirely sure what her illness is. I'm choosing not to pry into that situation and ask anymore, but he is out of commission currently as he's taking care of his mom. He's staying at his mom's house and taking care of her for the next 2 weeks. I believe that started middle of last week, so we can kind of assume that last week's battle, his week 8 battle, will be considered a forfeit. His week 9 battle will also be considered a forfeit, and his week 10 battle, I believe, will be considered a forfeit. I'm not sure if he's going to come back afterwards and finish out the season and playoffs as well. I would hope that he might want to, but it is up to him. He had a really good record before this happened. It's really unfortunate timing overall. Obviously, he's our Week 12 opponent, so I have to keep that in mind, how I want to go about that, and if he wants to come back for that point. Oh, pardon the yawn. So obviously we did pick up the win this week, though. We'll talk about the FF. And so we've moved up to 7-2 plus 22. Ben is still ahead of us by 1 game at 8-1, but we both have a plus 22 differential. So we're only 1 game behind Ben. We did end up, because of our FF win, we do actually have 4 conference wins now, which is the most that we can hit because we lost to Ben. Ben still has to play 1 in-conference match. I can't remember who it is. Let me open up the document real quick, and I will be able to figure that out. Season 2 document. I'm pretty sure he must still have won, or maybe he lost the interconference match, his last one, so maybe he can only hit 4 conference wins as well. I can't remember now. He still has to play Nacho. That's who he still has to play. So he does still have 1 more interconference match left. He's got a huge advantage over Nacho in terms of record, and so he'll probably end up picking up his last conference win, which will mean that he will always hold the tiebreaker, and he'll never have to play a tiebreaker match if he hits 5 conference wins, because nobody else will be able to hit 5 conference wins in the conference. And so as we see this Clefable just setting up, I guess we're pretty close to the end of this replay now. And if it comes down to it, I'll just reset it if I want to talk some more. But we are into awards voting season, so if you're a spectator and you watch me, you're a spectator in the league, then we're in awards voting season right now. You too can feel free to vote for awards. I'm still trying to make a decision on whether or not spectators starting the Pick'ems challenge at this point in the season will be allowed to get points for that, or if it's just for fun at this stage. I think it's probably more likely that it's just for fun rather than anything substantial in terms of points and in terms of getting the role. And I'm just going to reset here. So obviously you see that Jay wins, and now we can talk about the outcome of this match and what it means Clefable's stupid is what it means, but we can talk about the outcome now. So maybe I'll just slow it down a little bit in case I wanted to talk some more. No, we'll do it normal. If I have to speed it up, I have to speed it up. Or if I have to do it again, I have to do it again. So yeah, Pick'ems. Pick'ems has been really successful so far. I'm liking that everyone is taking more thought into the Pick'ems and actually doing them. Unlike last season where there was like so much hype at the beginning of the season and then nobody wanted to do it after that. They just sort of ignored it. But I've been doing notifications in the server, and I think that that has been helping a lot. But yeah, awards. If you're in the server, then you know that I announced 2 new awards to the docket this season. We are bringing the Best Glue Mon award, which is the Mon that held a team together, and the Untapped Potential Award, which is a Mon that looks fantastic on paper, but didn't have that impact actually in the game. So there's going to be a process with that. At the moment, we're starting with nominations, so each team is allowed to nominate from their own team a bunch of stuff, and then we have 2 awards as well that people can vote. Where's my Hall of Fame? There it is. Then the Coach of the Season and Most Improved Coach awards. Anyone can vote for anybody or nominate anybody else. I'm taking nominations, 1 nomination each from all of the coaches, and spectators are allowed to nominate as well if they would like to. It does take a reasonable amount of research into the document to sort of figure out what you'd want to nominate if it's proper. If you watch me and you'd like to be a spectator of the NCL, or maybe have an interest in becoming a coach in the future, I know that we will be planning on expanding at some point. I'm not sure if that's right in the near future or if that's further down the line, but yeah, if you are and you know me personally, then feel free to DM me on Discord. I guess I should just say my Discord handle right now. So, oh, it's not available there. Just for people who don't know who I am, it's electricity number 7767. If you wanted to DM me about joining the server, then you can do that there. I am trying to open it up a little bit more. The league is definitely going to stay to more of a personal friend sort of league. I don't know how to describe it. We're a very close-knit group of friends, and I want to keep it that way. So if you're a close-knit personal friend of mine and you aren't in the server already, then I can definitely invite you. I did invite some new spectators today because I know them very well and I think they'd be a good fit for the league. So if my expansion plans go as planned, there will still be 1 spot left open, assuming nobody leaves and everyone I ask to join joins. So now let's get to the real point of this update video, because it's not really to talk about the league necessarily, it's to talk about my week 9 match and why Cade forfeited. So Cade actually didn't just forfeit my match, he is forfeiting the rest of the regular season matches for the season, and there is a very good point to this. He is doing this because he clinched playoffs, not only playoffs, but also his division with Nacho's loss to Jay. He has such a win gap over Nacho now. He has a 4-win gap with 3 weeks left in the season, which means that nobody can catch him for the division lead anymore. Excuse me. Which means that he has nothing to play for. Unfortunately for us in the league, he opted to take a break, which I fully respect his decision, by the way, and I told him this in our DMs, that I fully respect his decision to do that. It is definitely up to him. If he wanted to meme the matches out, then he could have done that. But instead, he's opting to FF. He does play quite a few people that could be his playoff opponent in the first round, second round, or in the championship match. So I think it's also a smart decision on his part to FF the matches, to not give away his strategies, and also it's kind of respectful. Now, some people might say it's disrespectful to just FF all your matches, but I think that it's respectful in terms that if he does end up playing some of these people in the playoffs, they can both go at it with their heart, like all of their heart in it and all of their best builds in it, instead of maybe his opponent needing to get the win to get into playoffs and building like they would their best team for the match, and him memeing for whatever reason. I think this is just sort of the better case scenario here, is what it's going to end up being. So yeah, so he is forfeiting to me in week 9. He's forfeiting to Matt and the Green Bay Pods in week 10. He's forfeiting to Daniel and the Seattle Raptors in week 11, and then Jay and the UNC Wingles in week 12. His forfeit to Jay in week 12 is probably not going to matter because Jay is on the cusp of being eliminated from playoff contention anyways. But his forfeit losses to myself, Matt, and Daniel all have playoff. They all matter in terms of playoffs. So that's what's going on here. Again, Phil is taking forfeits for the near future as well. So basically, 2 matches of every week are going to be forfeits, and you guys are going to notice that in the weekly recap and the playoff picture videos. It's going to matter quite a bit in terms of it. It's not really how I would have wanted to end the season, but again, in Kate's case, I definitely understand it. You know, there's 4 weeks left, and he has nothing to play for. He had the 2 options. He could meme or he could forfeit, and I know how many leagues he's in, and it's nice for him to take a break, you know, especially because he's already clinched the division. He already has solidified the highest playoff position that he could have clinched. So that is essentially what is going on there, and that's why we're 7-2 plus 22. We do play, I believe it's Dom and the Cleveland Cavaliers in week 10. Dom hasn't been having a great season, but he did just pick up a really big win over Jed in week 9, which I'll talk about in the weekly recap video as well if you're subscribed to the NCL YouTube channel. And so we'll be looking to pick up that win because I'm still trying to contest Ben for the division title this season. I don't know how plausible it is for me to actually get that. But also putting some distance between myself and Austin in terms of getting the wildcard 1 seed versus the wildcard 2 seed will be better as well. The only difference being between the two is which divisional winner you play. And so in theory, wildcard 1 would be better. They are identical, essentially, depending on who wins each division. There could be an easier matchup. There could be a harder matchup. Yeah, so we're fighting for the highest spot that we can get, and honestly at this point I'd like to at least tie my regular season record from last season and go 10-2. That'd be fantastic if I could just finish out the season with 3 wins, going 10-2, and I can't remember what my differential was last season, so let me pull that up as well actually. Oh, you know what, actually I can pull it up a lot faster just through my Discord. NCL Season 1. Okay, so I finished last season 10-2 plus 31. So I'm 3 wins and 9 differential behind that. And I could finish better than that with 3 wins and 10 differential. So we're going to see how it sort of plays out. And that is my slight update video for you guys as we watch Nacho lose over and over again to this Cosmic Power Calm Mind Clefable, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you stuck it out this far, then type in teacup in the comments so that I know that you've watched the whole way. I do appreciate each and every one of you who do watch the videos, and I appreciate everyone who watches to the end because I feel like I have a lot of good talking points-ish, and you know, this is my league, so I definitely get a little bit more passionate about what I'm talking about and all of the points that I bring up because I'm trying to keep it a healthy league with a lot of different cool stuff coming up. So that's going to be it for me, and I will catch you guys for our Week 10 match against Dom and the Cleveland Cavaliers.